In with, obviously, the debate. For those of you who recognize it was a terrible debate for Donald Trump, let me just say there are those on the right who have convinced themselves dogmatically so that it was actually a great debate for Donald Trump. Those are the people who have the version of Trump derangement syndrome where they can never abide criticism of their God. There's a level of idol worship there. If he did it, it had to be perfect. It was a bad debate for Donald Trump, but it's not going to matter, and here's why. This is the CBS focus group that was conducted after the debate. They watched the debate. They had the focus group. Listen to this.
She just basically repeated everything that Biden has said in the past.
What were your thoughts? Donald Trump made a strong closing statement by saying, why didn't they do all the things that she's proposing during the 3.5 years that they've been in office? And Biden did this entire moderate stance back in 2020, and she's trying to do it again in 2024, but she didn't talk about her policy changes between 2020 and 2024. Her whole centrist moderate stance is just a facade.
So here's the thing. Those were undecided, uncommitted, independent voters in Pennsylvania, and they were still lingering on the very first question of the debate that Kamala Harris chose not to answer about the economy. As an aside, the hacks at ABC News asked exactly one question on the economy and like 3 or 4 questions on abortion. Tells you everything you need to know. Now, here's the reality. Donald Trump had a bad debate, but Kamala Harris didn't have a great debate. She just had a debate in contrast to Donald Trump, and it was 4 against 1. It was not 3 against 1. We'll get to who the fourth person was. But first, let's also play you this from CNN.
At the economy here, who would better handle the economy is what we ask. Going into the debate, before the debate, 37% said Harris, 53% Trump. After the debate, again, margin of error stuff here, but numerically she lost a little ground. 35% said so after the debate, that she would better handle the economy. 55% said Trump, and we know that is one of his strongest suits across the polling in this election, and he seemed to hang on to that piece in this debate tonight, according to our poll of debate watchers. And
yes. I mean, there's the issue here. This is the reality for Donald Trump and for Kamala Harris is Donald Trump had a bad debate. But if you go back to 2016, and in fact, a buddy of mine did, you go back to 2016 and you look at the polling, the snap polling from 2016. Here's what we had. CNN, who won the debate? 62-27 Clinton from CNN, 51-40 from PPP. 57-30 YouGov, 49-26 Politico, 48-22 Clinton Echelon, 56-26 Clinton Reuters, 52-21 NBC News Clinton, 61-27 Gallup for Clinton, 61-21 Fox News for Clinton, 53-18 ABC News for Clinton. Clinton won every single one of them. The worst polling for Clinton was 52-21. With others undecided. Or no, I take that back. PPP, a Democratic leading firm, 51-40, saying Clinton won the debate. Donald Trump did not have good debates. By the way, that was just the first debate in 2016. In the second debate in 2016, it was 57-34, Clinton versus Trump, according to CNN. The worst of that lot was 43-26 in favor of Clinton from Politico. Donald Trump lost every single debate he's ever had, and yet he still beat Hillary Clinton in 2016 in the Electoral College. Why? Because the economy and immigration are the biggest issues. Unfortunately for Donald Trump last night, he failed to execute until the very end, his closing statement. But pay attention to the people who don't pay attention to the debates. They came in and immediately asked Kamala Harris about the economy, and she whiffed it. And then at the end, Trump did have a good closing statement asking, why haven't you done this for 3.5 years? The problem for the people who paid attention to the debate the whole night was that Donald Trump should have started with, why haven't you done this for 3.5 years? And instead, he kept taking the bait. Now, what about the fourth person in the room? There was a problem with Donald Trump last night, and it was that fourth person in the room. And those are the formerly subsidized right-wing Russian edgelords who have been whispering in Donald Trump's ear a bunch of crazy stuff. And Donald Trump, well, he went down the rabbit hole that he shouldn't have gone down.
What's happening to the towns all over the United States, and a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success.
Okay. This is the problem with the right-wing edgelords who are formerly Russian subsidized who continue to say these wild things that some of you believe. By the way, today, I'm continuing to get from people that, no, I've seen the video. This was a Haitian woman who ate a cat. It was actually an American citizen, a woman in Canton, Ohio, who ate someone's cat. There's a video of it, and the police released the records. She's an American. She is not Haitian. She is clearly insane and having psychological issues, and she ate someone's cat. Canton, Ohio, not Springfield, Ohio. There is no evidence anywhere that people are eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. By the way, there is evidence they're eating the geese and the ducks. Not only have I had callers to this program, by the way, I'm the big talk show in Springfield, Ohio. People call in. They say, yeah, they're eating the ducks. They're eating the geese. This is well known. There's now 911 audio of people calling to say, hey, the Haitians are at it again. They're eating the geese out of the park. We got 911 audio. The Federalist released it yesterday, but it's the geese. No one's eating the puppies. No one's eating the cats. And Donald Trump decided to go off on they're eating the pets because the right-wing edgelords have lied in his ear about it, and Donald Trump hears that stuff. He's not in a protective bubble from the right-wing crazy. And he digested. He brought Laura freaking Loomer to the debate last night. Of course she was going to be crazy on the debate stage. Have you listened to this woman? So it was 4 against 1. It was the right-wing edgelords in his headspace. It was Kamala Harris, and it was the ABC moderators who were absolutely biased against Donald Trump. They fact-checked and corrected Donald Trump. Here's Chris Stirewalt on News Nation.
And what came through tonight, a couple things came through very clearly. Number one, Harris definitely got help from the moderators, right? They were fact-checking Trump hard. They were going after Trump much harder than her. The questions for Trump were more pointed than they were for her.
I mean, basically, David Muir and Lindsey Davis were asking questions, Mr. Trump, why do you suck so bad? And then asking Kamala Harris, what would you say about why Donald Trump sucks so bad? That was essentially it. CNN, by the way, the big winner of this debate, because there is no way any Republican is ever going to do a debate with ABC, CBS, or NBC again. ABC just absolutely destroyed the big 3 networks' media credibility. David Muir was just a smug a-hole last night in that debate in the way he handled Trump, and Davis had an axe to grind from the moment the debate began. But you know what? If you're complaining about the refs, you're losing. In 1984, Ronald Reagan had a landslide victory, winning 49 of 50 states in the Electoral College, having gone through several withering debates where the media hated him. And there were only 3 big networks back then. They despised him. They asked him deep, tough technical questions in debates, trying to throw him off his game. They asked Walter Mondale very fluffy questions, and Reagan still won. It's possible to win. Donald Trump just lacked the discipline. But here's the thing. Donald Trump can still win. This race is either going to be on vibes or it's going to be on issues. If it's on vibes, he's going to lose. But it doesn't have to be on vibes. His handling of the economy, his people who believe he can handle the economy better than Harris, went up after the debate, according to CNN. The independent fact checkers, they may have fact checked him and not Harris, but I do kind of wonder if that helps him. I do kind of wonder if the smug nature of ABC News's debate moderators actually helped Donald Trump because it was so obvious they weren't doing the same to Harris. And that's the point. It's not that they were fact checking Trump, it's that they didn't do it to Harris. You can complain, however, about the refs all you want, but if you're incapable of catching the football and making the play, doesn't matter that the refs were biased in the other person's favor. You're technically incapable of making the touchdown. That's on you. It's not on the refs. And Donald Trump was never able to make the touchdown last night except in his closing statement. Donald Trump took the bait every single time. Yo, just to give you perspective, for a week now, for an entire week, in Politico, in Axios, in the New York Times, in the Washington Post, in the Wall Street Journal, in CNN, on the reporting of Fox News, every single news network said the Harris team is going to try to get into Donald Trump's headspace and throw him off his game. And one of the things Harris intends to do is needle him about his rallies. That was reported by Axios, by the New York Times, by the Wall Street Journal, by the Washington Post, by ABC, CBS, NBC, PBS, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, and Newsmax. And guess what? She did it, and boy, did he take the bait. Oh, he took he couldn't help but try to defend his rallies. And from that moment, his mood changed in the debate. They played him, and he took it. If I were a fisherman and I had fish taking as much bait as Donald Trump was taking, I would be smoking the fish to preserve it for the next 5 years because Donald Trump took every bit of bait they threw in. The moderators baited him, and he took it. Kamala Harris they baited him. He was an easy mark on them last night, and it threw him off his game. And for you Democrats who are laughing at this and thinking, "Oh, Schadenfreude," no, I'm enjoying listening to this coverage of Erickson pointing out how Donald Trump threw the debate. Y'all know he lost all the debates in 2016 and still beat Hillary Clinton. It wasn't the Russians, it was her, and that's the problem for Kamala Harris. It's her. And people watched that debate last night, and they were completely turned off by Donald Trump's performance, but they were really turned off by Harris's inability to talk about the economy and her ability to pivot and separate herself from Joe Biden. She can say all she wants, but Donald Trump is running against me, and I'm not Joe Biden, but she is the Harris in the Biden-Harris administration, and she wrapped herself in the administration last night, could not put distance between herself and it, and that's going to matter way more than a terrible debate. And Trump has things he can do to mitigate the fallout, particularly starting today. Get out there and point out that they asked her a softball question at the beginning of the debate. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And she could not answer it. And that's going to matter much more.